People who couldn't join will be able to view and gain from the session. I would request all of you to turn your cameras on to make this highly interactive. Thank you so much. Over to you, Richard.
Thank you, Seema, and thank you to everybody who's joined us here this evening. It's wonderful to see many of you here and the interest that we have in goal setting in Toastmasters. 2026 can be a fantastic year for us all, of course. And you guys are the ones I can see with the commitment to make it happen. You are the ones who are going to make this quite possibly the best year of your lives. I want to check that the chat is working. So please let me know, are you committed to making 2026 a fantastic year? And let's see yes coming up in the chat. And Sandhya and Aya, Seema, Muriel, thank you. Claire, Annalise, Mayank, this commitment is superb. This commitment is what will carry you through the good days and the challenging days as the year progresses. The concept of this meeting is to take goals that may not be in Toastmasters and see how you can connect them with your Toastmasters journey, how to join forces between your aspiration outside Toastmasters and your aspiration within it in order to efficiently progress on both. Before I go too much further, I have to give some acknowledgements. Firstly, that I've taken material that I've used in this session from many well-known influences in the area of motivational speaking, of objective setting, and so on. Of course, there's a lot of Toastmasters content in this presentation, and at times we will take music. It is either from the endy.app website or the museopen.org website, and it is all under a free license. Why do we set goals? We set goals to give us a direction, a purpose, a long-term motivation. It's said that if you are without goals, you could be climbing a ladder only to realize you've put it against the wrong wall. And of course, if we're going to invest our time, our effort, our energy, we want it to be well spent. We want it to be on the thing that mattered most to us. And that's why we set goals. At the same time, motivation isn't enough. Motivation won't get us there by itself. We have to work back from our goals, and we have to figure out what are the steps that we're going to follow to reach our goal, to break it down to those manageable elements. And we have to have a system, a repetitive way of moving forward and keeping up our energy, our momentum, and most importantly, our progress through our steps and towards our goal. And yet, there is a significant danger because there are so many things that we could try to achieve. There are so many paths open to us, and it can seem to take us in many different directions. Sometimes you can have a moment of serendipity. You can find goals which are symbiotic to each other, where two or more paths align. And that means that by pursuing one, you can accelerate and enhance your progress on another, and vice versa. And this is what we'll be pursuing in this meeting, because we'll be talking about how you can take Toastmasters elements and add them in to your non-work goals, non-Toastmasters goals, in order to pursue them, whether that's in your career, in your side hustle, in your personal life. So that you're not thinking, what do I need to do for my project? For Toastmasters, you're doing the thing you need to progress on what's most important to you, and you're achieving your Toastmasters projects at the same time. We'll be breaking this session up into a few elements. The introduction we've just covered. There'll be a section for setting goals, and there'll be two activities there. Now, for some of you, you may not have done a goal setting exercise yet this year, in which case it's a bit brief, but it gives you the chance to have something down. For those of you who already have done a goal setting exercise this year, it will give you a moment to think a bit more about those goals, maybe challenge yourself in a different way, go into a bit more detail. We will then get to the heart of the presentation, adding Toastmasters into the mix. How can you take Pathways projects and use them to accelerate on those goals that you identified that are things that matter most for you in your life in 2026, and in particular in the first quarter of the year. We'll wrap up by giving you a few moments to record your actions and commitments, and we'll speak a little bit about ways to keep yourself accountable as you progress. We will look to finish the session at around 8 o'clock. If the interactive Q&A goes on longer than we have time for in that slot, we will do additional Q&A at the end, but we will try to make sure we get through all of the elements by 8 o'clock. We'll begin so if you could tell me in the chat if that makes sense. Are you ready to begin the exercises? Are we ready to think about what we're going to be doing in 2026? So please, in the chat, let's see ready. And that is a lot of ready. Aya, Patricia, Julia, Claire, John, thank you very much for all those. So we're ready to go. What I'll describe are a few different options of questions that you could consider for thinking about what your goals can be. I would suggest you just pick maybe one or two of them. Don't try to do them all. And we'll give you, let me reset the time. I think we're going to give you about 5 minutes on this exercise. So I'll read through the questions and then you'll have the time to think and to write. If there was a movie of your life, what action would the viewers be shouting at the screen for you to take right now? What is holding you back in life because of the pain of taking initial action being a barrier? Imagine you're at a dinner party in 10 years' time held to celebrate your achievements. What are you celebrating? What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? I'll put 5 minutes on the clock. So there'll be, whoops, there'll be 5 minutes timed, and please write as much as you can. Don't try to answer all the questions, but try to go into some detail on one or two of these questions and think about what it is that would really make a difference for you in one of these aspects. Any questions before we start? So let's go. And I know the timer says 0, but I think I can fix that. I'll fix it off screen, but I'll measure the 5 minutes and I'll let you begin. There are 2 minutes remaining. Thirty seconds left. Okay, so thank you, everybody. The time is up, and hopefully you've got some really good content down. Some people have already taken the initiative to share some things in the chat. And indeed, if more of you would like to share some key points, a few words in the chat, you are very welcome to put a few things in the chat, main things that you drew out from the last few minutes and that you would like to share with the other people here. There will be more opportunities to come off mute later in the session, but at this point, just dropping in the chat would be great if people would like to share a few more things. I see already from the first couple of responses some theme of avoiding regrets and taking action to keep us moving forward. So thank you to the people who've shared those. And Claire, a very specific goal and also a bit of marketing there for the accredited speaker campaign. So good use of the chat to market your goal, which is very Toastmasters related, and encouraging people to know about the accredited speaker program. Thank you for sharing. So we'll now move to the second exercise, which is to get more specific on your goals. And we've got some more things coming in. Fitness business with Julia. Very nice, very interesting. Thank you, Annalise, for sharing as well. And John Christie. Second DTM squared. Be very nice. We'll now move forward to the second exercise, which is to get more specific on your goals. And before we go too far into that, I'd just like to share a few tips, if I may, on goal setting. On the do's, you've heard it before, I'm sure, and it's this classic acronym of SMART. So really, when we do the second exercise, be specific. Some of you are already specific, but everybody will be specific by the end of this part. Try to put something that's measurable. Certainly the achievement, preferably also your progress towards the goal. Choose something that's achievable. Choose something that is relevant, that it matters for you. And we'll talk more about this in just a second, that it matters for your mind and that it matters for your heart. And we'll discuss why that's important. And time bound, ideally 3 months. If your goal is achievable in 3 months, it will mean that you cannot procrastinate. It will mean that you need to act now. You can't wait before you start because you've only got 3 months to do it. So choose something that you can achieve in 3 months is ideal, even if that's part of a bigger goal, choosing a piece that you can do in 3 months. and write it down. Writing it down is really important, and that's what we're going to do next. Some things to avoid: too many goals. 1 to 3 main goals to be working on is best. Rely solely on motivation. Having the steps, having the systems in place, reviewing your progress is important to keep you going. The fact that you want that thing is critical. You need more structure to help you to move forward. And then being careful about a goal with an end point. So James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, for instance, suggests avoiding the goal of running a marathon and instead having the goal of becoming a marathon runner, avoiding the goal of reading a book and instead having the goal of becoming a reader of books. Because if a goal has a definite end point, there's a danger that you then go, I've finished. I don't need to do that thing anymore, which for some things is fine and it's what you want. However, for other things, it's something you want to keep up. So you want to make it more that it's becoming part of your identity. Okay, that you're not someone who isn't smoking at the moment, you're actually someone who doesn't smoke. And so wording your goal in that way can help you to keep it going beyond the end of the initial period. So this is the goal setting activity. We're going to have 7 minutes on it. And I'd like you to write the following points. Firstly, my goal is to, and please be specific. Secondly, by when? Ideally, I would suggest in 3 months' time. Put why you're doing it. And you'll probably start with why it's important for your mind. And I would ask you to ask yourself why for each of your answers and do it 7 times. And what you may end up with is why it feels compelling for your heart. And so to give you an example, I might set myself a target that I'd like to get to a more senior position at work. And my why might be, well, maybe I'll earn more money. That's perfectly sensible. But if I ask myself why I want to earn more money, I'll say, well, because I can buy more stuff. And if I ask myself why I want to buy more stuff, I'll say, well, because I want to provide better for my wife and my son. And I want us to have a home. You know, maybe a couple of years ago, I wanted to stop renting. I wanted to own a home. And if I ask myself why I want to do that, I'll say, well, it's because I want the foundation for the family. I want the foundation for us to flourish and do other things and not have a financial concern. And if I came up with 2 more whys, I'd probably get to an even better answer. But at least my why for going for a promotion at work understands that it's something to do with the foundation I have in the home and for my family. So I'd really encourage for why the 7 whys to get to the deeper reason, to get not just with the mind, but also with the heart. And if you have time in the 7 minutes, you could start to think about the challenges that you'll face and how you'll overcome them. And otherwise, it will be part of the homework. So we'll start the clock. Do anyone have any questions? So we'll start the clock for the 7 minutes. The timer is working, I think, this time, and I will see you then. Or maybe the timer's not working, but I'll time it here, don't worry. 2 minutes left. Thirty seconds remaining. So welcome back, everybody, and congratulations because you've made it through part one of the session. And for those who've already done a goal setting, I know this will have felt quite familiar, but I really wanted to make sure everybody would be at the same place when we went to the second part of the session. So I will invite you, no surprise, to put something in the chat. What is a key goal that you have coming up, particularly where you're going to make progress in the next quarter and where we can use a little bit of Toastmasters magic as well to accelerate your journey? And we'll talk about how to do that in the next section. It'd be great to see some ideas that you have in the chat for advancing. They are very specific. And already thinking about how to use Toastmasters. I know it is a Toastmasters related objective that you have. It will be nice to see more. Maybe you guys will come off mute and share in just a moment. So we'll go to the next and the heart of the section. The heart of the session, really, the key part, adding Toastmasters into the mix. I'm not going to spend a long time recapping on Pathways. Pathways has 5 levels. It starts from mastering the basics, learning about your style. It goes to building more detailed skills and demonstrating expertise when you advance up to 5 levels. We have in each level some Pathways projects. This is the most familiar part, the longest established part of Pathways. In levels 1 and 2, they are mandatory projects. In levels 3, 4, and 5, you do 1 mandatory project and then some elective projects. Since 2025, we added in some extra speeches at levels 3, 4, and 5 from the Better Club, Successful Speaker, and Leadership Excellence series. And there are mandatory club meeting roles to be done as well since 2025. For instance, at a certain level of Pathways, you might need to be an evaluator or a Toastmaster or a timekeeper or something along those lines, as well as doing your speeches. Coming up, we're going to go through a lot of slides that look like this. So I just want to show you the layout now. There are the 6 different currently offered paths along the top. On the left, we're going to show you the name of some projects and details of those projects. And in the middle of the slide, we're going to show the level of the project for that pathway. Is it a mandatory project at that level on that path, or is it an optional project? The paths, I've set them out like this. They're not in alphabetical order, which is the way that Toastmasters normally show them. I've put the more speechy ones on the left, engaging humor and presentation mastery. And on the right, we have the more leadershipy ones, dynamic leadership, motivational strategies, and persuasive influence. Visionary communication is in the middle because its projects kind of are a bit more in the middle. And in this section, I'm going to apply a few rules. These are real things, but they're very important. You can do any Pathways project or special speech from any level at any time. There is no need to be doing the projects from the level you are at. If there's a different one that suits you better, you can go and do it right away. You can repeat a project that you've already done if it is useful for you to do it again. You can do more optional projects at a level than you need to if they will benefit you and you want to do them. And you can enroll on your next path or an additional path before you've completed your current one. So if you are getting to level 4 and 5 and you want to do a level 3 project and get credit for it, if you know what path you want to do next, you could be starting that path and gaining credits on projects towards it. And for John Christie, who's going for his DTM squared, I have no idea how many paths he's done, but he must be getting towards quite a few, I think. And just to evidence the point, I took a look through my own history of pathway speeches right back to 2021 to see what I'd been doing. And there were a lot of speeches here. At the start, I was a member of 2 clubs, which is why there were quite a few in a short space of time. And as you can see, I was the well-behaved pupil for the first period, doing all my speeches in exactly the right order. And at 12th of May, 2022, I broke free and I broke the shackles because I was preparing a conference presentation and I was really worried about the Q&A at the conference. And I realized there was a project at level 4 to practice doing a Q&A with an audience. And I said to my VPE, can I do this with the club now? And she said yes. And it really helped me to prepare for that conference. And since then, I never looked back. The ones highlighted yellow were the ones that gave me no credit because they were repeats. You'll see in May 2023, I was going back to the same conference to do another speech on a different topic, but at the same thing, they invited me back and I did the same Q&A project again at my club to help me to prepare with the Q&A answering and feeling really confident. October 2023, I was needing to go into a school and present to 11-year-olds about finance careers. I had no idea how to do that, but thankfully there were parents in my club who could give me feedback, which is why I did that project. And you see that in my second path, I have kept this up and I have done whichever Pathways project suited me and whichever Pathways project was going to be most useful at the time. And pretty much half of my speeches in my second path have been from the level that is not the one that I am kind of working towards finishing officially. So we've got more goals in the chat as well, which is great. Let me just have a quick look. So Ram has a goal of starting an IT company, which is excellent. Thank you, Ram, for sharing this. And Julia, Julia is on this track with this fitness class again for children, the musical fitness class that she's mentioned earlier on in the chat. So she's going into more detail about why she is passionate about doing that. So this is great. So I'm going to maybe ask some of you guys to come off mute. And for instance, maybe Julia and Ram, because you are both looking at effectively starting businesses, maybe you just want to come off mute for a second and tell us where you are in Pathways, what path you're doing, what level you're at, and so on. Would you like to do that? Maybe Julia, you can start.
Sure, yes. Thanks, Richard. Good evening, everybody. So I'm a relatively new member of Toastmasters and I haven't started my pathways yet. I have taken on the role of Deputy Sergeant at Arms because it's a role I share with another Toastmaster colleague. So I will be looking for the opportunities to match my delivery of these fitness sessions to a appropriate Toastmaster pathway. It will obviously involve me speaking publicly to my target audience, which is 7 to 11-year-olds, which is an audience that I have a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old myself, but I don't have experience of doing that in a group setting. So I'll be looking to build my confidence and make sure I'm delivering things clearly to the target audience so that they can understand and hopefully feel motivated and enjoy the sessions that I will be conducting.
Okay, thank you. And Ram, maybe you want to share a bit. Thank you very much, Julia. Thank you. And thank you, Annalise, for the applause. Ram,
I
maybe you want to share a bit about your IT
sure. Yeah,
ambitions.
I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you and
Okay,
see you.
cool.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, sure. Thank you. I only joined Toastmaster last year, and I'm currently doing the presentation mastery in the initial stages. So I have around 25, 26 years of experience in IT, working across a lot of global organizations. Um, and since I think I would say that for the last 6 to 7 years, I've been thinking of starting my own consulting firm. So probably, my communication skills is preventing me, uh, doing those. So that's
Mhm.
where I just, started this Toastmaster session. So now when you start about the goal setting, so something came in my mind. So why don't I use that, my
Mm,
goal? So which I
mm,
restarted, working on this the last couple of months.
mm.
So now I think I'm thinking of actively using these sessions to,
Okay.
get my goals back onto the radar and then achieve this. Whatever, helps me in this journey will be great.
It's
Yeah,
a
that's
great
my goal.
ambition. It's a great
Yeah,
ambition. Thank you also for sharing.
yeah,
And
thank you.
in a generic sense, these were some of my guesses of Pathways projects to help people go faster if they want to launch a side business. So there is a project, optional project at level 4, building a social media presence. I'm guessing somewhere along the line that people are going to do something with social media to raise attention on their business. The education module gives you advice about enhancing your social media presence. You will, of course, be working on making your posts, and you give a speech at the end about your experience, and you've finished a level 4 project, and you've advanced your ambition for your business. Level 3 is wonderful for different options on speeches. Connect with storytelling, I think, will be very relevant for people with a new business because, generally speaking, customers of new businesses are buying into the story, they're buying into the service. Also, connect with your audience, inspire your audience. These can be speeches that you can deliver in the club that can be in the vein of your business to work on the things that you want to work on to help you when you actually come to present in front of clients. And you can get feedback from your club members on that. If you happen to be doing visionary communication, there is a level 5 speech about making the vision for something and giving a speech about it, and then a second speech about the implementation. There are other options at level 4. Public relations strategies, again, can be a very relevant alternative to the social media one. Some people will blog about their business, some won't. If you have a team, there's a lot of projects at levels 4 and 5 that you could consider. And always, 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 level 1 is great. If you are still at level 1, doing your level 1 speeches and tying in your business is absolutely normal because level 1 in general gives you almost complete flexibility about the content of your speeches. So you can make them relevant to your business and do a project that is about vocal variety and body language, or that is about practicing your presentation skills. So hopefully for people with a side business related goal, these types of projects can be relevant and can help you accelerate in your side business while following pathways at the same time. Do we have some more people online? Sorry, Ram and Julia, was that useful?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be really helpful to look at how my goals with the business fit in with my work with Toastmasters. So thank you for pointing out those connections.
Okay, no problem. Claire, maybe we want to bring you in. I know you have some ideas about the accredited speaker program to run to run some sessions and so on. Is there more that we
Certainly.
could add to that?
Well, certainly the 4th of February, I'll be doing one of the drop-in sessions on the accredited speaker. I've also been asked, Seema's still with us, to do an article for the newsletter.
Mhm.
That's something that kind of frightens me. I'm quite happy speaking, not so good writing articles. So that's something I'm going to challenge myself to do. But I don't think there's a Pathways project, as far as I know, about writing newsletters. Or writing articles. I haven't come across one as yet. I don't know if you know one, Richard.
So I think what you've mentioned here, that a blog is available, but in general, I would say building a social media presence, as an example, again, is something that you could tie in there, because maybe you want to have. I mean, the newsletter is sent by email.
Yeah,
I
it's
know,
a specific thing. Yeah, and I've been
but
asked to do an article, so I will
yes, but
look at
I
that.
imagine that you may well repurpose that and post that on other platforms, or
Good
wherever
idea.
you may
Thank you,
be,
Richard.
on
Yeah, really good
LinkedIn
idea.
and so on. And potentially you may consider adding some other media, maybe a video of yourself talking about the program, things like that.
Scary stuff.
So there's potentially things you could do on building a social media presence
Perfect.
that
Thank you.
would also demonstrate the skills of an accredited speaker.
Thank you.
Do people have other specific goals that they would like to share, either in the chat or verbally, and we can see what we can do for helping you find something useful?
I have a question. Like someone posted that he's dropping off and he will be watching this in the YouTube. Are we going to post this in the YouTube?
This will be posted in YouTube. That's correct.
It will be accessible by everyone in the YouTube.
Correct. If you're about to tell me that you want us to edit out the part where you told us about your goals, then
No,
that can
I'm fine. I'm
probably be
just
arranged.
checking. No, I'm checking. There's nothing
Okay.
confidential, nothing. I think that's fine. I just want to make sure that it's yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't want your employer to be
No, that's
rushing
fine.
rushing to the panic
No,
button.
no, I'm not a problem. It's not a problem. I'm a freelance consultant, so I don't
Okay.
have any problem. But yeah, I just
It
want to
will
make
be
sure.
on the District 91 YouTube channel probably within a week's time.
Okay, cool.
So, John, I know some of yours are quite specific. And have you done a youth leadership program before?
Yes, I have, which went extremely well.
I suspected you had, because I know you've done a lot of
I was
things in
able to get
Toastmasters
Jean,
for
I
a
was able
while.
to get Jean Gamester there as our um, visitor at the end on the 9th meeting, which was very good. And of course, she's gone really
Wow.
up in the world at the moment, being an international director.
Well done. Well done. It's
But
very
it-
nice when you have other people to come and help with those sessions and
Well, I'm
bring a
struggling
different
a little
style.
bit at the moment because that one dropped in my lap. I was just extolling the virtues of youth leadership, although I hadn't done it at that stage. And the lady I was talking to said, "Oh, come and talk to our school about that." And I did, and they went, "Yes, we'll definitely do that." And they were very, very good indeed. But finding the next gig is, I've got a couple of leads at the moment, but I feel it's got to be done on a very personal basis. So throwing out 100 emails isn't probably going to do it.
Yeah, you want to have a connection to a group to begin with to initiate the discussion. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Makes sense. Maya, you have your cameras on. Are there things that you would be happy to share with us about your goals?
I don't have like a specific ones, but I think for me, in a Toastmasters, everything links to kind of my professional life as well, like a personal life. So basically everything that I do in Toastmasters actually help improve my professional life, the same as personal life. So everything that I learn in a Toastmasters, especially because English is my second language. So I always had problems and troubles to speak in front of other people, especially at work,
Sure.
to make presentations, whatever, even ask
Mhm.
simple questions, I would say like that. So yes, Toastmasters is a place where you can improve not only public speaking, but your leadership
Mhm.
skills, your just promptum speeches or whatever you need it. So I think it's a great place. So yes.
Okay. Thank you. Maya, something you want to add?
Yes, thank you. I'm on the same way like Aya, because English is also my second language and I wanted to improve public speaking, not just in public. I'm also a teacher, so I need this even more. I have to
Okay.
teach in English.
Yeah.
And
Which age are you teaching?
sorry,
Which age group do you teach?
adults. I teach
Adults.
the singing bowl massage, and that is
Wow.
for me also public speaking. And that is the reason why I became a Toastmaster.
Okay. Which makes
I
sense. So
joined.
you're
Yeah.
I feel like you're in this camp of so is it your own business you're running?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's your own business. So it's not a side hustle, it's your main business and it's established, but perhaps you are also in this world of needing to promote your business
Yeah,
and sell the story
definitely.
to the potential
And
clients and so on.
I'm in Eastbourne Speakers Club now for 2 years. I had lots of speeches and lots of rules, different rules. What is this word? What I didn't really follow is my pathway. So that is my goal for this year,
Mm,
that I have to do everything what's on my pathway,
okay.
and I can complete this year. I have lots of chances, so
Hmm.
it should be possible.
Yeah, you should. And yeah, pick some to do with your business. I'm sure that the members
Yeah.
of Eastbourne Speakers are interested to hear about did you say it's a singing bow massage?
Yes, look in my background, there are singing bowls, and I massage the people just through the gentle sound and vibrations of the singing
Ah,
bowls.
got
It's
it.
really
Singing bowls.
specific. It's the
Right.
Peter Hess method,
Hmm.
and
That
it's
sounds
unique
very
here in
nice.
the UK. So
Sounds
I'm
very
the
nice.
only authorized instructor who can teach this. And for
Ah,
this,
just like Claire is the only accredited speaker in the UK, and you are the only authorized instructor of singing bowl massage.
yeah, yeah. So the
Oh,
club is really interested to listen what I have to
mhm.
tell about the singing boat and what they can do.
Okay. Thank you. So
Thank you.
to help us, thank you for sharing, everybody. So to help us keep on time, I'm going to give a rapid overview of some topics that we didn't need specifically for our audience here, but mostly for the benefit of the YouTube. And then we are going to go to the last exercise on action and commitment. So rapidly, but if you're on YouTube, you can slow it down and pause. If you are thinking of a job change or interview, there is a project called Prepare for an Interview, where you have a mock interview in front of your club. You can develop your interview skills with the club helping you to improve. Sounds a bit scary, but might still be less scary than the interview itself, and it can help you achieve your goal. If you are going to networking events, there is a project for that. Make connections. There's clues in the material about how to go about doing that. And then you give a speech on the experience. Connect with storytelling, because the first question in the interview is tell me about yourself, and the interviewer wants a story. They want something memorable to connect with you and understand you. And practicing that in the club meeting is possibly a bit less scary than doing the full interview in front of the club. Although I think the full interview in front of the club is a good idea. Social media, again, for job change is very useful. Level 1 speech is always useful. The level 2 speeches are also useful for understanding your leadership style, communication style for a job change. Conference presentation, I would suggest research and presenting, connect with audience. There's loads of things you can do to practice your conference speech or a bit of it in front of your club audience before you go to the conference. Choose the bit that's most accessible to your club members, practice it. It will stand you in very good stead when you get to the conference. My favorite project question and answer session, which I always do in front of my club when I'm doing a conference. It helps me boost my confidence and practice answering questions a lot. There is the 20-minute prepared to speak professionally. If you have someone at the conference, you can use the conference speech itself to count as that, if there is a Toastmaster there who can evaluate you on it. There are other options as well. Growing as a leader can be very tied into some of the more leadershipy parts, but there are optional speeches as well. Also, the club officer roles, district officer roles, not a main feature today because the elections aren't in the next 3 months generally for clubs. But if we're in 3 months' time, I'd probably be talking about them more for some of the opportunities in Toastmasters. Conference panel, slightly different to speaking at a conference. I'm just going to show these on the screen for the YouTube. And then if you have wellness aspirations, there are things that you can talk about. Focus on the Positive is a project where you effectively journal about your moods for 2 weeks and then give a speech about the experience of doing so. Connect with storytelling, inspire your audience. You can tailor any of these to lifestyle type stuff, as well as, of course, the level 1 speeches that are super flexible in what you speak about. Writing a book, again, there are things here that you can pick and choose to tie in with your ambition to write a book. People looking for a new relationship. I was surprised we didn't have anyone looking for a new relationship in the meeting. I thought it was going to come up. But anyway, there are things that you can do to help you understand yourself and also appreciate yourself, because finding a new relationship is about understanding yourself, appreciating yourself, and then going and looking for the new person, because it takes 2 to tango and you work on both sides. I thought it would be quite fun for someone to prepare for an interview in front of the club in the context of dating rather than a job interview. I don't know if anyone would feel that would be quite fun, but I thought that would be quite fun. Of course, make connections through networking as well. Icebreaker, vocal variety and body language projects, super useful if you are thinking about the dating context, to practice on those things as well. Understanding conflict resolution, that's more for the established relationships, but I put it in anyway. No, it's a joke. It's a joke. And actually, thinking about those things in advance is useful. Planning a wedding, didn't have anyone here planning a wedding, but again, there are projects there that are perfect for you if you're planning your wedding. Managing the project successfully, being able to tell amusing stories as well. And there is a level 3 project called Deliver Social Speeches. It's perfect for practicing your wedding speeches. So this is the end of the interactive Q&A. Congratulations that you are there. And we will move on now to the last part, which is to record your actions and commitments. What is it that you're going to do coming away from this session? It's a shorter time here. There's a suggested structure, which I'll take you through. Firstly, to support your goal, whatever that big goal was, your action in Toastmasters is. Secondly, who will be your accountability partner? I really suggest that you have someone in mind, one person who you share this with now, that this is what you are going to do. It could be a mentor in the club if you have one, or a club mate. It could be your vice president of education. If you are going to work on your social media presence in the next couple of months, contact your VP now and book in your speech on the experience for March so that you can follow up. I would really encourage to book your speech in now with your VPE to keep you on track and keep you accountable. In general, telling one person about your goal is a very good thing and can help follow up, keep you accountable. Telling everybody is a bad thing, because when people tell everybody about their goal, they can get a bit the feeling of as if they'd already done the goal, and it can actually take away their motivation. But telling 1 or 2 people is great. Telling everybody is not recommended at all for goal setting, just for information. And coming back to your wider goal, how will you follow up progress on that wider goal? Will it be maybe a journal-based review where you write to yourself every week or every day on how you're progressing? Will it be that you put specific time in your agenda to focus on progressing that, or keep some sort of log of how much time or how much progress you've made? Do you want to find an accountability partner or mentor for that? I think we'll cut this to 3 minutes, in fact, on this section. So please think about writing down what is the action you'll take in Toastmasters within the next 3 months. Who are you going to let know to hold you accountable? And how will you follow up progress more generally on your projects? And I think that is the end of the time as well. So thanks again to everybody for your engagement into these topics. I hope that it has brought you something useful and valuable. And I would like to applaud all of you for taking the time to invest, if it's for yourself, if it's for your loved ones, whoever you've come here for. Well done for doing so, and I hope it will stand you in very good stead in the months and maybe even the whole year. But these things refresh regularly, so maybe in 3 months, 6 months, it's time to think again about goals for the next quarter. I would love to tell you that everything is going to be easy now you've done this session, but actually the hard work is probably ahead of you. But please use this structure to help you have the courage to conquer obstacles. And most importantly, remember that in Toastmasters, you have a supportive environment around you. So benefit from the support of your club members, the warm environment that's there, and enjoy it.